Sam Walsh, 99 games. The Gary Ayres medalist for 2023. Joe, he plays his 100th game in round one. Hopefully he's available and up and about, which I think he will be. It's always good talking about Sam Walsh, isn't it?
You said Gary Ayres medalist from 2023. You missed 2024 Brownlow medalist as part of the intro there.
Oh,
yeah.
It's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah. No, he's gonna. Could be a very short preview if you want, because he's gonna have the year of his life. I think this is gonna be the best year of his career, and it's all signs point towards it. He did what he did last year, coming off back surgery, a calf. Obviously, he had the syndesmosis the year prior, so his body hasn't been completely up to scratch. But you get him a full preseason, the age of what, 23, 24, as a midfielder, mate, Jesus,
yeah, it's he's an exciting prospect. So what is it? 2nd of July 2000. So right now he's 23. He'll be 24 halfway through the season. I looked at his career averages, and he ranks elite in the following categories. So disposals 27.4. That's career average. His kicks 13 a game, elite. Handballs 14 a game, elite. Marks 4.7, elite. If you're a fantasy player, averages 97 a game. That's elite, but not important for what we're talking about. But yeah, I think part of his big appeal is his ability to fight through adversity. And this time last year, we were going through that period with him where he missed a bit towards the end of 22. Didn't come up for that final game against the Pies. Then he had the back issue, and they didn't want to do the surgery from memory, and then they ended up doing the surgery. Misses pretty much all of preseason. We finally get him back in round 5 against the Crows, even by his own admission. Like, he was still winning a lot of the ball, 25 touches, 38, 30, 28, 29, 29, but just wasn't himself. And he recently spoke about that in his little car interview that he was doing going to training. Then it started clicking. And the big part that I took away from what he was talking about when it clicked for him was using his running power to be a part of the chains and the scoring involvements, as opposed to just winning the ball.
Yeah.
And I thought that was a really mature part of what he was talking about.
Well, we saw that, right? And the Carlton media released a few of those snippets throughout the year, like the behind the goals footage, and they highlight the player and how hard they've worked to get and Walsh was a part of, I think, 2 or 3 of those throughout the year. You saw it against Melbourne, just gut running, making sure he could get from contest to contest and really impacting on the scoreboard as well. The prelim, he was our best on from memory, and that's I haven't watched the replay, and I won't be watching the replay of that prelim anytime soon, but just from memory he was well, I didn't say I haven't watched the first quarter. I just haven't watched the full replay. But from pillar to post, he was consistent all day. He was winning the ball, and like you said, just gut running contest to contest. And I think that's his strength, right? He's got to rely on his strength, and he can outrun almost anyone in the comp every single week. So more fitness under his belt, full preseason, which he hasn't had for 2 years. That's syndesmosis as well. That killed him the year prior. So.
True.
2 years he hasn't had a preseason, and he's still been able to do what he does. This guy is as special a talent in the AFL as anyone else, but flown under the radar, which is funny to say with Walsh. I feel like he's flown under the radar because of the rise of Dacos, and Bailey Smith had those moments in those finals, and it sort of overshadowed what Walsh can do. He's now got his opportunity to go. Don't worry about it. Let's put that fucking Mickey Mouse shit aside, right? This is football. I'm a footballer, and I can win games, and I can win medals, and I can win trophies, and that's what he's done his whole career, his whole junior career. He's a winner, and we've got a winner on our side in a winning side. It's scary. The one word to describe what Sam Walsh could be in 2024 is scary. Very, very scary.
Well, he kicked 6 goals in 2023. And I feel like, he's got the total package. He can play inside, he can play outside, he can put him on the wing. I'm really curious about, can he be a bit more of a conduit in that half-forward line? Kind of what we do with Cottrell at times. And I think if we do that, he can hit the scoreboard in crucial moments, which we've seen. But where do you see the next layer for him?
It's hard with a player like him because he's almost the full package, right? So maybe like goal kicking is an obvious one, and you'd love for him to kick, a goal a game as a midfielder. Sure, is it realistic? I don't know, because you could say that about Chera, and then you could say that about Cripps, and then all of a sudden everyone's kicking 30 goals. It's
Yeah.
unrealistic, right? Like it's not going to happen. I think for Walsh, it's just his score involvements. That's what he's strong with. Like he gets a lot of the footy. He can gut run. He can get from defense into our forward half, and he can be that last kick inside 50. And we know how good his ball use is as well, and we see it when he's got time and space, especially. So I don't think he needs to be an inside midfielder winning clearances. For me, I want to see Walsh running off the back of the stoppage and really getting into space with time with ball in hand, being able to look. He's got the vision, so being able to stop, have a look, and really assess his options going inside 50, because he has options going inside 50 with this team. He's got a Harry, he's got a Charlie, he's got a Jack Martin who can cause a little bit of chaos every now and then. So I think the what I want to see more from Walsh is him playing that role. We don't need him in and under. We don't need him shoveling the ball out. We've got plenty of players that can do that. We screen for players that can go outside of the contest and receive the ball and take it. That's the player that can do it for us.
Yeah, the vision of Walsh streaming and running with the ball, running and carrying, is where I think he's at his best. I felt like he and, say, Chera, Cripps, Hewitt, I think they probably took a bit of time to just figure each other out with their spots, and that kind of clicked. I don't know when, at some point in the season, probably before the turnaround, to be honest. But I think now that they've had a couple of preseasons together now, I think that's going to definitely click. I also like this dynamic where, he's obviously, co-vice captain, got this leadership aspect. Now he starts mentoring, so to speak, guys like Ollie Hollins, and I'm always very fascinated by how much that does for a player. Charlie, for example, is living with Billy Wilson, so he takes on that mentorship aspect there. Ollie Hollins has spoken about how he's training a little bit more with Sam Walsh, and we've gone from Walshy talking about training with Cripps, and now you got young kids training with Walsh. It's nice to see this evolution of his leadership and his maturity.
Don't forget how young he still is as well himself. Like, he's been in the system a while now, but he's still super young. It's kind of like with Harry and Charlie and Weeders, like, 9 years they've been in the system. And I think Walsh is this number 5 or number 6 already?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, 2019.
Season 6 coming up.
Yeah. It's crazy. These careers are just passing us by, which is
Yeah.
nuts. Like, and this is, for someone like Sam Walsh, he's going to hit his straps at a time where this team finally looks like they're going to be able to contend for like 3 to 5 years. So, it's 2024 is important for Walshy, but I think bigger picture, he could announce himself as not one of, but the best player in the comp over the next 3 to 5 years. He's got every attribute that you want in a footballer, everything. He just needs to put it together, and he needs his body to help him along the way.
Yeah, he's definitely got all the minerals. He's made of the good stuff. Controversial opinion. I don't think we'll see a Brownlow medalist.
No?
No, I think there's too many of them that take votes off each other.
Oh.
And, the umpires love Cripps's game. He's a proven vote getter. Chera, I think, will start polling a little bit better in the next few years. Charlie loves, forwards don't poll as well, but Charlie polled relatively well, 23. I just feel like we're too balanced of a team for someone to win a Brownlow. You got to have like 30 votes to win a Brownlow these days,
It's fair. It's a fair point. I just always go back to the comment that he has won everything always as a footballer.
That's true.
He just wins shit. He does. He just wins everything. And like even in the AFL, since he's come into the AFL, every year he's won something. Like he won Mark of the Year. Like he's not even that spectacular on the highlight reel, but somehow he won himself Mark of the Year. Like he just finds a way to win things. And I just think that he's got I think that if he puts it all together like we're talking about, and he has that full preseason, and he gets 26 games under his belt next year, or 27 games, whatever it is, I just think that he has something that others on our team don't have.
Yeah, it's true.
He's got this like this X factor that doesn't necessarily like really stand out to you, but then he has these moments where it's like, my God, there's no one else that can do that. Like,
Yeah.
so yeah, I get what you're saying. There will be votes stolen, but I just think he's going to stand out too much. I just think he's going to stand out too much. We saw it in the Melbourne game. Like, all of those finals, he won the Carriers medal. We didn't even play the grand final. He just wins shit, man. Like, you saw it in every single final. He was the best player in the final series, not just for us, the entire final series. Like, he will win a Brownlow, Tez. He will. I'm telling you.
I'm locking him in for BNF. I think you did as well. We did the chat at the MCG. Pretty much everyone I've spoken to is like, yeah, BNF. That's Sam Walsh's one.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think fingers crossed. Full preseason, get it under the belt. Season 6, Sam Walsh. It's time.
Absolutely, it's time.
All right, ladies and gents, let us know. What do you think about Sam Walsh in 2024?